UK government has been considering a lot of plans and policies to cut down net migration in the UK. They started this plan a long time ago when they started talking about international students not being able to bring in their dependents as well. They have another plan in place for the Immigration Advisory Committee to still look into the graduate route. It is really hard to understand why all these things are happening, but the UK government is bent on cutting down net migration drastically. They cannot be underestimated anyway. When they started talking about international students not being able to come in with their dependents, we thought that it was not going to be feasible, but it is already in place. Effective January 2024, international students can no longer come in with their dependents unless, of course, they are here to do a PhD program or a research program whatsoever. So let's see. They have now shocked the world with their 5-point plan to cut down net immigration drastically. Let's have a look into it. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Midwife Jamie. On my channel, I talk about life in the UK, midwifery practice in the UK, and I share my experience as an immigrant living in the UK as well. Is it your first time on my channel? Kindly subscribe, hit the like button, and to my lovely returning subscribers, I want to say thank you. So their first plan is to end the abuse on the health and care worker visa route. So what they are going to do is that they are going to stop overseas care workers from relocating to the UK with their dependents. So if you are a care worker, you've got a job offer with a care home, you cannot come into the UK with your dependents. You just have to come alone. And another plan in the same point is that they are going to allow the Care Quality Commission to look into the issuance of COS to all care workers who are relocating into the UK. So that is their first point of action. The Care Quality Commission can do all that good job by monitoring the issuance of COS, looking into the activities that ends up with people having COS and all that. But what about the people coming to work in the UK? How are they not coming with their dependents? How are they going to cope? It's going to be really hard. What if you are married and you have your kids? You just have to come alone, leave your husband, leave your kids, leave your family behind. It's going to be really hard, but that is what they are considering. And another thing is, if you are not married, you are dating, you have a boyfriend, you have a girlfriend, you are planning to relocate to the UK and would want to go back and get married and relocate with your husband, this plan is not going to be feasible if you are coming in as a care worker, because you cannot, under no circumstance would you be allowed to come in with your dependents. And this is really hard. It is really hard. Now, almost everybody who relocates to the UK is looking up to the benefits that their dependents can get. It's not really easy leaving your home country, leaving your family, leaving your friends, leaving your properties into the care of people you can't even trust, and you relocate here to be exposed to this harsh weather, and still you don't have a chance of getting to relocate to the UK with your family. Like, it's really hard. It's a big sacrifice just to make sure that their dependents are okay, their children are fine, their husbands are comfortable, their wives are okay, exposed to a lot of opportunities. But this is the case where if you are coming in as a care worker, you don't have all these opportunities. In fact, if I were to relocate to the UK as a care worker, I don't know what I would have done. Maybe I would have paused and thought about it, because I relocated with my husband, my 2-year-old, and my 2 months, 2 weeks old baby. How was I supposed to leave all these family members home and relocate? I wouldn't have survived. I wouldn't be in the right state of mind to provide the care that I need to provide to those who need it. It is really, really hard. I don't know what to say, but it's really hard for care workers now. However, NHS staff are not part of this change. So if you have got an offer with the NHS as a nurse, as a midwife, as a pharmacist, as a maternity support worker, if you've got a job or an offer with the NHS, all these rules does not affect you, because you can relocate to the UK with your family. And that's good news. Yeah, it is good news. Like, you can't scrap all these benefits of all health workers. So at least midwives, nurses, doctors, pharmacists, maternity support workers, health assistants who are relocating from overseas to the UK are exempted from this policy that they are going to implement from next year's spring. I am confidently saying this because this is what NHS Employers has said. Let's have a read. On 4th December 2023, the UK government announced changes to the immigration system that would take effect from spring 2024. In response, we have pulled together a brief frequently asked questions below. The changes being made to the health and care visa route will only affect the care sector. When the changes take effect, care workers and senior care workers will be unable to bring dependents when they migrate to the UK. And only CQC registered providers in England will be able to sponsor health and care visa applicants. These changes do not affect the NHS. That is good news. So the NHS employers have made it boldly clear to us that it's only affecting the care sector. So that is the senior care workers and the care workers. Now, the second course of action that the UK government is putting in place is increasing the annual immigration health charge from £624 to £1,035. My God, that is a lot of money. So if you are coming as a skilled worker who is not coming to work under the health and care worker visa, you would need to pay £1,035 annually as immigration health charge every year. So if you are coming in as an accountant, like any job that is not in the healthcare sector, you need to pay this amount of money, £1,035 every year. The third action is that they are going to increase the minimum threshold from 26,000 annually to 38,000 annually. That's a huge difference. That's a big difference. How many employers in the UK will be able to pay this amount of money and sponsor people to bring them to the UK? So they are trying to do everything to cut down migration. This change that I'm talking about right now is not affecting nurses, it's not affecting doctors, it's not affecting midwives. So still, you can get sponsorship as a nurse, as a midwife, as a doctor, as a pharmacist with £26,000 annually. The fourth point the UK government is considering is to reform the shortage occupation list. Obviously, they are not going to reform it to add numbers to it. They are going to reform it to reduce the number. The last point they are considering is increasing the earnings of UK residents who want to sponsor their family members to relocate to the UK on the family visa. You should be earning $18,600 currently to be able to bring your family members over to the UK on a family visa. But with effective 2024, you should be earning £38,700 a year before you be able to bring your family on the family visa to the UK. All these changes that we've talked about is going to take effect from 2024 spring. So that's around March, April, May, thereabouts. So if you have anything that you're doing, do it real quick. To my lovely health workers, to nurses, to doctors, to midwives, don't panic because you are exempted from all these rules. You can still relocate to the UK with your family. Start getting your IELTS being prepared. Write it again if you need to upgrade your score. Do what you need to do and relocate to the UK. We've come to the end of the video. See you in my next lovely video. Bye bye.